In this lesson, I want to show you how we can customize our tailwind.config.js file to get Tailwind to auto-generate more helper classes for us. So you may have been curious in the previous lesson. When we used a class like bgblue300, obviously that was super helpful, but that is a style and a blue color that has been predetermined by the Tailwind team, right? How are we supposed to add our own custom colors, our own custom backgrounds, right? Many times our colors can be very important to our brand or our design. And while the Tailwind team gives us a lot of great starter options, how are we supposed to incorporate our own styles, right? Maybe our own font family or our own colors into the app. Well, as you'll see, we can add customizations to the tailwind.config.js file, and Tailwind will auto-generate new CSS classes for us to use automatically. It's a super cool feature. So let me show you. We're going to open up our tailwind.config.js file at the top of the project. And here you can see we have a theme property set to an object with an extend property set to another empty object. So extend is where we can extend Tailwind's existing CSS classes. So we're not going to remove any existing classes. We're just going to ask Tailwind for more of them. So for example, what I can do is tell Tailwind that I want to add some additional colors for us to use. So as we saw in app.js, blue 300 was a sample color. So was slate 400. So was blue 700, right? So what we can do here is define a color, and Tailwind will automatically create a whole bunch of color-related classes with that thing. So for example, what I'm going to do here is define a property called react-black. That is going to be my name for the color that I want to define. And since I want to do a hyphen in between React and black, I can't just simply write it like this because that's not valid JavaScript, but it is totally valid to add it in double quotes. And it doesn't have to be a word with dashes. This is just for the sake of example. Then what I'm going to do is assign this property to a value that is a hexadecimal code, so a color code. So in this case, I'm going to do 282C34, and this is actually React's black color. So what does this mean? Well, when Tailwind looks at this, it's going to look at the name that we've used here, and it's going to generate a whole bunch of helper classes with that name, with that prefix. So for example, much like we have bgblue300 available out of the box, we're now going to have bg-react-black available as well to use. And you guessed it, what that class is going to do is apply a background color set to this color right here. But it doesn't just end with bg classes. Simply because we nested it inside this colors object, Tailwind is also going to generate other helper classes. For example, we're now going to have a text-react-black CSS class, and you guessed it, that's going to make the text color of the element this exact hexadecimal code. So it kind of follows the spirit of Tailwind in that we have brand new CSS classes, but they are available to be used just like the regular Tailwind CSS classes. So let me do one more example here. I'm going to add another custom color to our app called React-Blue. So once again, that means we're going to have access to bg-react-blue, text-react-blue, etc. A whole variety of helper classes. And I'm going to assign the hexadecimal code here to be #61DAFB. And these are just arbitrary hexadecimal colors. They are the original React colors that we had in the app. So now if I go back to my component in app.js, make sure to save the file. Here, where we previously had bgblue300, if I want to use my own custom background, I now have a class called bg-react-black. And when I save that, you're going to see we're now going to get that black color. It does hide the font a little bit or the text, but you get the point, right? Here's another example. This is just how easy it is now to intermingle our various styles. On this paragraph right here, I can add a class name and use a pre-existing class for text color like text-white. That, of course, is going to make the text here white. But for something like the hyperlink below that says Learn React right here, I can add a class name here and use my own custom CSS class that Tailwind has generated. It's once again going to begin with a text prefix, but rather than using a built-in Tailwind class like text-white, we're going to have access to text-react-blue. why is it -react-blue? That's because that's the exact same name we gave it right here. So if we call this nonsense, then we could literally write text-nonsense here, right? And it would apply this hexadecimal code to the text color or to the background color or to a variety of other classes that style other things with color. So this is an example of how we can customize Tailwind. We're not just limited to color, we can customize anything else we want, padding, margin, font family. But the principle of Tailwind will stay the same in that we don't have to write the CSS manually ourselves. We're just going to give Tailwind the configuration it needs in this file to generate new CSS classes for us that we can use in our layout, interchangeably with the built-in regular Tailwind CSS classes. So when I save this, you can see we now have that React blue color represented here, along with the React black background, along with text white for this text, which is a regular CSS class. So we're mixing and matching now. All right, so hopefully that's a pretty inspiring thing to learn about how Tailwind works. Again, it is packed with a whole bunch of reasonable standards, really good color scheme, a really good collection of color palettes, but also does allow you to customize so you can live up to your brand colors or your design colors, etc. That's all there is to cover in this lesson, so I will see you in the next one.